Off-page topical map. Why is third-party corroborative sources important for LLM visibility?
So with LLM visibility, obviously, you're talking about you being cited within, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, all of the different LLMs. You type in a query, and whatever it's citing is what you want to be listed. So it's really becoming really, really important, because if you're not looking at an off-page topical map, you don't know what you're going to rank, essentially. You don't know what you're going to be listed under. So you really need to be looking at what queries are connected to your brand. Do a query fan-out model. Obviously, we've built a tool that does this. The AI reputation management tree will help create a query fan-out model around your brand and give you a huge list. I think it was 250 words, give or take, around your brand that you should be fulfilling. And that then creates the ability to create a off-page topical map, which essentially is going to be, a list of great places, or us finding a list of great places that you should be looking to rank. And those places are then listed or featured within LLMs themselves, which then increases the confidence within the LLMs to then cite you more often. What would you be looking to do differently with?
I think the major part of this is everyone's obsessed with doing a semantic content network and doing a topical map on their own website. And that's a first party source saying how great they are. And I think with an off-page topical map, this is third party sources that's corroborating and repeating who you are, what you do, and why you're freaking brilliant. And that third party element is key. Really, really important, because on the claim, frame, and prove, you can claim something and frame it in a way, but then you need to prove it. And the way of proving it is getting third-party sources. And without having that proof part with regards to awards, with regards to reviews, with regards to testimonials, and with regards to case studies, you don't have the reputation element to it. And that's where the AI reputation tree becomes really important for personal branding, for corporate branding, for online reputation management, for making certain that you're improving the AI resume, to make certain if you are tracking LLM visibility, that it's look at all the sources of where it comes from. It's all from third-party sources that's citing why you are the best. It's the listicles, it's the comparison articles, it's all these sources that's coming back on the third-party off-page topical map, which feeds why you are great.
Well, I guess we were mentioning it earlier today that if you think the internet's full of billions of websites, I can almost guarantee not one of them who owns a business goes, we're terrible at this, buy our service though. Every single business will be saying why they're great at doing what they do. But what they're not then doing is getting a third party to collaborate on it and sort of say, yes, they are. They're the best at what they do. And it might be this.
Yeah, I mean, and another thing is that the amount of businesses that come to us that are actually brilliant, right? And they do have lots of testimonials, but the testimonials are on their email. And you're like, can we not just get that on a Google Business Profile? Can we not go and get that on a Trustpilot? Can we not go and get that on a Yelp or on a Yelp? Can we not go and do an article about that review? Can we not wrap that within a case study and explain what you did for that client in a case study, and then wrap the testimonial into that case study and then do a press release on that, which then can rank for the service that you offer in an area of where you've already offered it. And then when someone says, have you ever done this plumbing service in Manchester? Yeah, here's a case study. Oh, by the way, it's got the testimonial with it, right? If you start doing lots of those, when then a local Manchester meetup says we're doing an awards night, and you go, look at all these case studies which you present them with, they go, wow, what an amazing company you are. We're going to give you best plumbing company in Manchester because you've done all these case studies and got all these amazing testimonials. Now you're an award-winning plumbing business in Manchester. Then you can shout and scream all over your website on the first-party source that you're an award-winning, but you go and do a press release, you go and do guest posts and third-party corroborative sources explaining about the award that you had, that the founder there came and you've got a trophy and you're up on stage with the rest of the team and it's a good night out for the team. So you're building that culture as well for the team and stuff like that. But all these images, if there's a video of you going up stage collecting it, you've got images, You've got videos. Then videos could be turned into video shorts that you can post all over social media.
Yeah.
You can post them all over Reddit, which is on the discussions and the forums, is also massive. And then be doing an article on your website explaining who you are, what you do, and why you're freaking brilliant. So for me, it's like the most important, but I'm almost say an off-page topical map is more important than an on-page topical map. But everyone's obsessed.
Sorry, Corey. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Corey. But everyone seems obsessed with it on their own website, explaining who they are and what they do. And I'm like, get that proof element.
It's also the element that if you think Corey always mentions, you have to make it more cost effective, lower the cost of retrieval for the search engine. The best way to lower cost of retrieval for a search engine is to increase its confidence in its knowledge graph of who this business is as an entity.
Yeah.
If it understands that, then guess what? It's going to get the data straight back to you instantly.
Yeah, so like on that, confidence and clarity, in my opinion, is the new page rank.
Yeah.
I did literally a video yesterday with Jason Barnard, who does a lot of brand SERPs. He talks about the algorithmic trinity. And on the algorithmic trinity, he's saying that it's no longer now just about trying to rank for Google. You're trying to rank for Google search. You're trying to rank for the LLMs and manipulate the LLMs or get seeded in the LLMs. And you're trying to get a knowledge graph, a machine ID.
Yeah.
So that KGM ID, what you're talking about of improving that score, is related to confidence and clarity. Now, if you go and win an award and you're repeating who you are and what you do, so you keep saying that FatRank was founded in 2007, the founder of FatRank is James Dooley, and you're repeating, you're connecting all these entities together within the knowledge graph, and they can go, okay, we now know exactly who they are. We spoke about on another video about the AI resume and getting your brand being mentioned in, let's say, Gemini. And there's certain brands in Gemini, in the AI overview, that get a link through to the website. And there's certain brands that don't. And guess which ones get the link? The ones with the highest entity score, that they know exactly, we know that you mean this FatRank agency because we've got that much confidence that you mean this brand.
Basically a trusted source.
A trusted source. Now we will link to that trusted source because we've got the confidence and the clarity. Yeah. And he was amazed when I said confidence and clarity is the new page rank. He was like, I've never heard that before, but I'm going to be using that in future. And I think it's so important, but that all comes from the off-page topical map. Can you expand a little bit on this? Because we've got our own name for it. So we call it the AI reputation tree. And because it's mainly we're trying to do the off-page about reputation and why we're great. Reviews, testimonials, awards, case studies being the major 4 dimensions of reputation. Can you expand on what the AI reputation tree is and why almost every individual, if they're a business owner who wants a knowledge graph or knowledge panel, or any business should be looking to have the AI reputation tree being done for their business?
Yeah, so essentially it's something new that we've came up with, and it creates, it's like a query find out model, but for the off-page side. So it will go out, it'll grab all the synthetic terms around your brand or business. It will then also check social media, check Reddit forums, things like this. It'll also go into potential competitors and see what competitors they also have. Because that way you can see if there's any elements which there could be a crossover. It'll list these out. There's around about 250, give or take, that it'll give. And then this gives you a very black and white version of what you need to be building around your brand, what AI or people are asking AI about your brand. And then that tells you, it almost gives you a bit of a roadmap. Now, the caveat to this is that roadmap is almost infinite, because the bigger the business gets, the more reputation, the more awards, the more news about the brand, the more social media and posts and social media and comments, negativity, the more you will have to do to keep doing this query find out and keep on ticking the boxes within the LLMs, essentially.
Yeah.
So it becomes almost like I would say a fundamental part of your growth strategy when it comes to LLMs.
Yeah. I want to do some quick fire ones with regards to third party corroboration.
Come on then, shoot.
So someone who's watching this wants to do it himself. They want to they don't want to use the AI reputation tree. So they're saying, okay, I want to do it myself. And I understand query fan out, and I'm going to extrapolate all the synthetic queries for every single keyword related that explains why I'm great. So it could be the legitimacy part, the scam part, the negative sentiment part, the positive sentiment, the case studies, everything else that comes around from it. All the 250 different queries that you said is in the AI reputation tree via Searchery. If they want to do it themselves, I want to just hit you with some different solutions and you tell me whether this would be helpful as part of a third-party corroborative source. They go and get an article and they go and put it on a guest posting website. Is that a good third-party corroborative source?
Not necessarily. It could be. But you have to then check to see if it's got a knowledge graph ID. You'll have to check to see if it's getting cited at all in LLMs. Is it actually even getting indexed? Is the website blocking that element of the website that's being posted on? There's like a billion other, so potentially.
So, but it's not just about the DR and the do follow link.
No.
So now you're looking more deeper into it than just DR and do follow.
You don't even need a link. The reality is, because if it's just a branded mention, the LLM should pick it up.
Right, okay. What about them getting an article, they've just won an award and they want to shout and scream about it and decide to go and use a press release?
That would be a lot more beneficial nowadays, primarily because that usually gets syndicated out on a billion different websites. It's going to be a positive sentiment around the brand. It's going to attach a reward to the brand. It's usually going to be full of, brand name, all the other attributes around the brand, that when it was founded and what the services they offer. So all of that gets connected to the brand as well. So 100%.
So you say 100%, the press releases help. I completely agree. I think it's a great third-party corroborative source.
Yeah.
How important is the writing and the content of that press release to define the entity, to try to make certain that they might have the NAP listing and all the other elements in there repeating who they are, what they do, and why they're freaking brilliant?
I would say that is that would probably be more important than the press release itself. Because if you don't hit that nail right, it is pointless even trying to hit it with your hand. You need a hammer to hit that nail in, and the content body of that article is the hammer.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is not about the links. This is about the micro semantics. This is about the semantic triples of defining the entity, connecting those dots. I completely agree. I don't think you could have put it any better. You need the hammer. You can't use your hand to hit a nail in. It's key. Someone wants to go and they've gone and got the press release and they've gone and wrote it well and they've gone and defined the entity. They've got the semantic triples. Should they, as a third-party corroborative source, be sharing it on socials, like on Facebook?
1000%. Facebook, Twitter, do some TikTok shorts, videos, YouTube, everywhere you possibly can, share that.
Is it important once they're doing the tweet or doing a Facebook for them to grab the URL and load it into an indexer so Googlebot's crawling it?
Again, probably more important. If you just publish on social media for social media's sake, and that doesn't get indexed in Google, then what are you doing it for?
Yeah,
it needs to be indexed in a search engine. And one of the best tools that I've used recently is indexceptional.com or Giga Indexer. Both of them .com or both of them are very, very close when it comes to indexation rates. I would almost say close to 100% success rate at present with these two tools.
Yeah, I think it's important as well to make certain that if you are putting into an indexing tool, again, it comes back down to the content is good.
Yeah.
If it's just gobbledygook, if it's just a mess, Google's still not, even no matter how good the indexing tool is, if the information that's on there is not providing any value, it's not going to index. They're not going to waste their crawl budget and the storage of rubbish tweets and stuff like that. But so you're saying on social media, it's a great third-party corroborative source. What about on places like forums like Reddit or Quora as an off-page topical map to shout and scream about a new testimonial or a new review of what you have in trying to get that on Reddit and also on Quora?
again, super important sources. Obviously, most SEOs, obviously I'm saying obviously, but most SEOs know that in the last couple of Google updates, Reddit and Google have done a deal where it's sharing the data with each other, and everyone's seen Reddit skyrocket when it comes to visibility in the SERP. As in, like, it's not just under forums and discussions, they will actually be ranking in the search engine for the threads. So it's super important to get cited on these, and again, having a positive sentiment around the brand, because the LLMs are just crawling Reddit almost daily, like to the point that we've seen almost instant, like, you can post on Reddit and an LLM's picked it up within seconds as soon as it's indexed.
Yeah. And then I want to touch on query fan out, and I want to touch on how at times I want people to understand that with regards to places like Gemini and other LLMs, they might be doing a search, and at times they don't open up all the URLs and read the whole content. They're just grabbing the information from the branded SERP or the SERP that's showing up of the titles and the descriptions, and not actually opening up the pages. And if they've got enough consensus to say we now can base an answer on this, they just use the information that's in the actual search engine results page. So how important, if someone is looking to do third-party corroborative sources, is trying to make certain that the entity and the brand and connecting it to a 5-star review in the title, or that they've won a specific award. How important is the title tag to make certain it's defining what the article is about, not just for rankings, but for query fan out in case they're not going to open up the page?
Like, again, it's one of them fundamentals. So you've hit the last sort of 5 fundamentals, to be fair. It's one of the fundamental points. Your title tag and your meta description, it's one of the, or two of the first things a search engine should read, as long as your website's coded properly. It's very important that you're hitting the nail on the head when connecting semantic triples and the various different attributes that you want it to rank for. Additionally, though, you should also be looking at schema. Schemas become so important, and it's often, it'll only crawl a certain amount of the page on first glance. So it's very important that, you're not bloating the page, but the schema is at the top of the page, and you can do same as schema. So you can connect. So if it's an award, for an example, you've got an award on your website. Obviously, there's been a press release sent out there. You can use the same as tag and list all of the different good sites that it's been listed on. And then Google starts to understand that, this website obviously won this award, and all of these are collaborating now. Corroborating. I can barely say the bloody word, man. Corroborating on that you are a award-winning brand.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to do some of them quick fire questions, because we're both saying an off-page topical map is very important. We're both saying the third-party corroborative sources is more important than first party, so on your own website. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you some of them questions, because there is different nuances to everything of what we do. So people can just go and order a Magic PR press release, and it's a great press release service, and I think it's something like $700 or something like that in isolation. They can go and get guest posts, and they might be able to go directly to a guest post provider or use a marketplace and go and get a guest post for $130, something like that, directly. But if you don't know how to write the micro semantics, if you don't know how to make certain you're making use of the title tag, if you don't understand to be defining the entity and what type of articles to be writing about to cover all the 250 different key phrases, it's kind of pointless, because it comes back down to you're having a landing page and one of the H2s you don't control, and that bit could be the element that you've missed, which is the element that makes you not get that sale. And now that the AI resume is becoming your 24/7 sales engine, your sales team that's working for you, I want to control the whole message. I don't want halfway through for my sales guy to start fluffing his words, which then loses me that sale. I want AI to be perfect.
I think there's like an analogy that you use. Again, I butcher analogies, and I've heard you say it a billion times, but it's essentially like, I'm not going to get a roofer to come and sort my boiler.
Yeah.
He's a roofer.
Yeah.
So why would I waste, or as a business owner, why would I be wasting my time trying to figure all of this out when you could just pay someone to do it who's in the field, getting all that experience, working with multiple, thousands of websites, got our own websites that we're doing it all with, and you gain all that knowledge and expertise rather than trying to test it yourself and potentially missing out fundamentals. So you're, in that sense, wasting money because you're missing out the whole point.
Wasting time is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's wasting the time. And not only that, is what I've actually found quite scary is how much the team are having to keep innovating with the AI reputation tree. The sources are changing quite a lot. So what ChatGPT might be using as a source is very different to what Gemini is using as a source. And we've just started to realize that Claude is using Brave Search. So then we then started seeing the sources are completely different to Gemini and ChatGPT on what they're using. So now it's like, oh, okay, how do we now start making certain that these articles over here work great in Brave Search? Okay, we might need to be starting using some of these for Claude optimization. But this is on a day-to-day basis that we're testing this. So if someone comes along going, oh, we might be able to find out the query, find out cosine similarity and micro semantics and how to do an off-page semantic content network. It's like, that's brilliant. But you still need to find the sources.
Exactly.
And you still need to be doing it on a day-to-day basis of understanding, and you put all this together. So if someone does want to reach out and they do want an off-page topical map, they do want this third-party corroborative source, they do want to improve the AI resume and the LLM visibility, how can someone reach out for this off-page topical map that we call an AI reputation tree?
Yeah, so just head over to Search Room. We're doing a soft launch on it right now. There'll be an email sign up and a member of the team will come back to you. There'll be a couple of questions that you'll need to answer and then we'll see if it's a good fit.
I think the most important part to this with regards to heading on to searcheroo.com is we need as much information as possible. We need to define the entity. The more information you give, the more information we can include in all the guest posts, the more information we can include on social media, the more information we can include on press releases, the awards, any awards that you have, any reviews and testimonials that you have, any case studies of amazing jobs of what you've already done, we can shout and scream and amplify that everywhere online that makes the AI resume say that you are the choice moving forward.
One caveat to that though, if you haven't done that, we can also then make it look like you've done that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's ways and means of making certain, but also if they are a genuinely decent brand, they should have reviews, testimonials. They should be able to reach out to existing clients. They should have had some amazing jobs that can be being done. So fill all the form in. The bigger and more in depth you fill the form in, the more in depth then we can expand that across the web, which then third party corroborative sources is what's feeding the LLMs. Karl, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Cheers, James.